Today we are going to learn how to swap but for and embrace yet so that you can increase your speaking and writing skills. And we are starting right now. What is going on, people? My name is Clement and welcome to another video. If this is your first time and you want to learn how to improve your communication, other how-to stuffs, get motivated and inspiration on YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss anything. Sometimes it's the little thing that makes a huge difference. Today I'm going to draw your attention to but, and yet. The words we choose shape not only how other people see us, but how we see ourselves. When you master the art of positive communication, the world will start to appear more welcoming. Now let's get to the strategies. Number 1. But and positive communication. How often you hear people say but statements? Here are a few examples. I would love to go on vacation, but I'm scared of flying. I would love to go back to school, but I don't have any free time. I want to run a marathon, but I'm out of shape. In each of the statements, the speaker ascribes a particular explanation to a problem or situation. They assert that because they are scared of flying, they cannot go on vacation, or they have no free time, so they cannot go to school, or they are out of shape and therefore they cannot run a marathon. What most people don't realize is that a typical but statement is unnecessarily limiting and negative. This becomes more apparent if you take out but and then insert and instead. Take the first example in the list above. I would love to go on vacation, but I'm scared to fly. Swap but for and you will notice the difference immediately. I would love to go on vacation and I'm scared to fly. The revised version suggests that the speaker just so happened to be afraid of flying, plus they want to go on vacation. It's a subtle difference, but it matters a lot. It implicates that the person has a desire plus a problem to be solved rather than a desire that will be thought by their problem. When I start working with a client, I often notice that they parrot the same old but statements repeatedly. They become our own personal stories, excuses that we don't question. We assume that they are true and take them to the heart as the gospel truth. These beliefs become somewhat akin to a script. The more you repeat them, the further entrenched you are in the role of someone who would love to change their life, yet cannot do so because they are held back by a single factor beyond their control. When I teach my client to drop the buts and swap them for an instead, I usually see a rapid transformation. Within a few minutes, this mindset shift starts to show in their expression. Hope replaces desperation as they realize that the way you frame a situation makes all the difference when coming up with solution to a challenge. Another problem using but can also make people defensive. As soon as we hear that little word, most of us assume that criticism or bad word is on the horizon. For instance, if you were to tell someone that you don't want their point but want to see another approach, they are likely to feel threatened and criticize. However, telling them that you understand their view and want to use another strategy will usually elicit a more positive response. It implies that you value their input even though you won't put it into action. This technique generates a sense of closeness and mutual allegiance. Number 2. The power of yet. Simply putting yet on the end of a negative statement can transform its meaning. Let's have a look. I don't know enough about this topic to pass the exam. Let's change it. I don't know enough about this topic to pass the exam yet. Second one. I cannot get a girlfriend. The solution. I cannot get a girlfriend yet. Using yet singles to yourself and the others that you still haven't given up. You are acknowledging that things might change. You may not understand exactly how you will make these things come to pass, but you are at least open to the possibilities. It immediately transforms you into a more positive, optimistic person, at least in the eyes of others. This technique doesn't work in conversation. It is also effective when it comes to your own self-talk. It promotes a sense of positivity and potential while still encouraging you to remain realistic. It acknowledges your current situation and problems and makes clear that you are on the right track. Now let's put the whole thing into practice. Exercise 1. Whenever you catch yourself making a negative statement that includes the word but, substitute and instead. Don't be surprised if your optimism turns out to be contagious. This little change will make you sound confident and positive. This will inspire others. If you aren't able to try this out in conversation, use it as a journaling exercise instead. Give yourself 5 minutes to write down any but statements you have been using recently. What happens if you use and instead of but? Personally, I feel less helpless in the face of my difficulties when I make this simple swap. Exercise 2. Go on a yet hunt. Whenever you're making a negative statement, you are lacking some kind of resource, stick a yet at the end. You could also silently add a yet to the end of other people's sentences and see for yourself how it changes their meaning. You might be tempted to start telling others that they would feel better if they start using yet. But this is best avoided unless you are certain that they value constructive feedback. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you want to see more, just click in the subscribe button below. Till then, peace.